Have you seen these images and videos coming out of Kathmandu? Thousands of people on the streets waving the Nepal flag, shouting, Hami Nepal, which means we are Nepal. But why are they protesting? What are they fighting for? And who exactly is leading this movement? That's what we'll discuss in this episode of Gravitas Plus. We'll start with some background. Last month, the government of Nepal made a decision. It banned 26 social media sites. Among them were Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, YouTube, and the new X, the platform formerly known as Twitter. Now Nepal officials said these sites failed to register under new rules, but for Nepal's young generation, these platforms are more than just apps. They're a lifeline. They're a way to connect with the world, to express themselves, and to organize. So when the ban came, it triggered massive protests. Let's show you some pictures from the streets of Kathmandu. These are from early September 2025. You can see thousands of people marching, raising their phones in the air, also waving the national flag. This protest soon spread across the country. Let me show you some more pictures. Here you can see protesters outside the parliament building in Kathmandu. Here they are outside the Prime Minister's residence. Now security forces used force to break up these protests. They used tear gas, rubber bullets, water cannons, and in some cases, according to reports, even live fire. And the result was this. In the first week itself, at least 19 people were killed, many more injured. So in September, the government lifted the ban on social media platforms. But by then, the genie was out of the bottle. The protests had grown into a full-blown movement. It's being called the Gen Z protest, and there's good reason for that. This is not your typical political movement in Nepal or anywhere else. It's not led by a political party or a charismatic leader. Instead, it's being driven by ordinary citizens. The protesters are mostly students and young professionals. They've taken to the streets to vent their frustration against the government. They say the country's politics is dominated by corruption and nepotism. They're demanding fresh elections. Let's show you some pictures from the protest rallies. These are some of the posters you can see at these rallies. One of them reads, "Don't speak. You are not our leader." Another says, "We are not afraid." And this one, "Our vote, our power." The protesters also have a list of demands. We'll come to that in a bit. But right now, let's focus on who is leading this movement. Like we said, there is no formal leader. Instead, it's being driven by students and informal collectives like this one, Hami Nepal, which again means we are Nepal. The word we is doing a lot of heavy lifting here. It's emphasizing the idea that this is not a movement led by one person or a few people. It's a movement by the people, a mass uprising. On social media, you can see the hashtag #HameNepal. This is being used to mobilize people for protests. It's also being used to share updates and pictures from the ground. Now, how did this hashtag gain momentum? Well, it started trending after a comedian posted a video. In this video, he called for people to take to the streets. He urged them to reclaim their rights and not be intimidated by the social media ban. After that, other celebrities and artists posted similar messages. They encouraged people to exercise their democratic rights and stand up for their future. Which brings us to the question of demands. What exactly are the protesters in Nepal fighting for? Like we said, the main trigger was the social media blackout. But since then, the protests have grown. Now they have 5 main demands. Number 1, an end to corruption and nepotism in government. Number 2, punishment for those responsible for ordering violence against protesters. Number 3, freedom of expression and of the press. Number 4, protection for those who protested peacefully. And number 5, resignation of the Prime Minister and fresh elections. It's a tall order. Will the government agree to all of these demands? Well, so far it has rejected the resignation demand. It says it will look into the other demands. But the ball is in the protesters' court. They've shown remarkable courage and solidarity, but the road ahead is not easy. Let me show you some pictures from the city of Pokhara. You can see the streets are empty here. Shops are shut. There's a curfew in several parts of the city. In some areas, mobile internet services have also been suspended. So the government is trying to contain the protests. How will the protesters respond? Will they keep up the momentum? That's a big challenge because so far there is no formal group to lead negotiations with the government. Also because there's no central leadership. There's no clear plan of action. On Monday, a tense calm returned to the streets of Kathmandu. Earlier in the day, there was a violent clash between protesters and the police. Now, we hope things don't spiral into more violence. We hope the Gen Z protests in Nepal do not turn into another chapter of unrest in the country's long history. If you like this breakdown, please hit the like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more such insightful pieces. You can also follow us on our social media pages. This is our channel. Thanks for watching.